Good evening, baseball fans. How you doing? Welcome to tonight's show. We're going to talk the latest on Juan Soto. There's some interest out there for Josh Bell. We had a trade today. My Red Sox stink. Let's get to it. Good evening, baseball fans. Hello. 104 people in the chat. What is going on? Evan, Zach, JB Mixes, 20 Legend, one of our members. William Fulgham, another member, is here in the chat. Ethan, Sean, Caden, Jack, what is going on? Breeze, Danny Beston, Chris Sampson, hello. Mario Life, what is going on? Lando Sports, hello. Jarvis Henley, another member, what is going on? There's a lot of people here. What is going on, everyone? Hope everyone has had themselves a rather good week. I'm not having a great night tonight because my Red Sox absolutely stink. What is going on? Heim, where are you at? You better be on that phone right now making some phone calls. What are you doing, my friend? What are you doing? Not a whole lot to talk about tonight. Just kind of wanted to go live because, hey, Juan Soto is just the news right now. It's the hot topic that everyone wants to talk about. And you know what? I'm going to take advantage of it. Hey, whatever. I'm going to take advantage of it. Juan Soto, it's helping bring in some views on the channel. It's bringing in a whole lot of new faces to the channel. We are quickly approaching 25,000 subscribers. We are within 300 subscribers of 25,000. Saying that number is kind of mind-boggling to me, to be honest, because, 2.5 years ago, I just started this channel, recording everything on my phone, and here we are, 25,000 subscribers later. That's pretty cool. Not gonna lie, it's really cool. So, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you are new to the channel, looking for more baseball news and content, hit that like button, everyone. What are you doing? Let's see where we're at with the likes. Yeah, you know what? You're probably thinking, oh, Robbie, you're being so annoying with these likes. You know what? Put down the T. There's 38 likes right now, and there's 131 people in the chat. What are you doing? Oh, my God. Come on. Hit that like button for me. You guys are out of your mind. Oh, my goodness. Put down the sandwich and hit that like button. Hit the bell notification as well. That way you know anytime I go live, especially within the next 10 days. It's a busy time here in Major League Baseball. We got the trade deadline coming up. Also, share the stream anywhere you can. Don't forget, we are partners with SeatGeek. If you are looking to go to a game post All-Star break, use my code HIDE, $20 off your first purchase. Hey, take advantage. Also, hey, Prize Picks. I had a couple of people use my code the other day. I know you're out there. If you want to go try and win a few bucks, go check out Prize Picks. It's not really like DraftKings or FanDuel. You're going up against the system. You're going up against over-unders, especially with baseball season here in full swing. Go see if you can win yourself a few bucks. Use my code Ginger. You'll get a 100% deposit match. If you put in 10 bucks, they will give you 10 bucks. Oh, Tarzan. Oh, disliked for the cringe. Oh, Tarzan, come on. It's not that bad, my friend. It's not that bad. Go have yourself a sandwich. Everyone, let's get to it here. We got a few things to talk about. not a whole lot to talk about. We had a massive trade today. A huge trade for a big-time player. My goodness, this almost, I mean, you guys all know who I'm talking about. It's the guy that's been talked about every single day when it comes to the trade market. It's a huge trade that went down. I don't know if anyone saw it. And you all know who I'm talking about. You all know. Daniel Vogelbach going to the Mets. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. You know, Daniel Vogelbach, let's go talk about this really quick. Let's go talk about this. But you know what? Actually, let me put on the music here. Let me put on the tunes. Let's get the vibes going. Here we go. But first off, I mean, I have to make fun of my Red Sox right now. This is absolutely abysmal. What is going on? What is this? I felt a blowout coming when it was like 3-0 or whatever it was. I tweeted out right from the get-go, Heim, just sell everyone. Just get rid of everyone. My goodness. But this is absolutely embarrassing. I believe the Blue Jays set a franchise record in runs by the 5th inning. I mean, listen, I'm not going to over-exaggerate this. There have been many times a team has just gotten absolutely pounded. I mean, this is pretty bad. But at the end of the day, you got to take it in stride. It is just one game. It is just one game. This actually happened one series this year. I can't remember what series it was. One team got absolutely blown out, but then they ended up winning the series. The other team that got blown out ended up winning the series. So it's one game, I guess, but it really shows how capable the Blue Jays are. Coming out of the All-Star break, this Blue Jays team is not messing around. They came into Fenway, and they wanted blood. They smelled blood. And they are ready to prove to everyone in the second half that they are here and they are for real. My goodness. It is 27-5. You know, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna give every excuse I can in the book. Also, Jarren Duran, what the heck were you doing? Inside the park grand slam. What are you doing? What? You couldn't find the ball or whatever, but like, come on, my friend. What are you doing? Nathan Eovaldi, obviously, this is a guy that is showing obvious rust right now. I guess, especially against a Blue Jays team that is rather hungry at the moment. 2 2/3, 9 runs allowed. That is just abysmal. Nathan Eovaldi, what the heck is going on with you? I'm going to be honest here. I'm not going to spend too long on this because I'm going to start off with Daniel Vogelbach, but it is just one game. But if this is kind of what we're looking at here for this Red Sox team moving forward, I think you got to start making some moves. You got to do it. You got to do it. You got to look into JD Martinez. You're going to have to look into Xander Bogaerts, I would imagine, because he's going to opt out. Nathan Eovaldi, I would look into him too, unless you want to maybe try and work out some kind of an extension. Wouldn't mind Eovaldi for the rotation for the next couple of years. Christian Vasquez, he's actually been having himself an all right game tonight. Christian Vasquez, 3 for 4 tonight, has a home run as well. So, hey, maybe Christian Vasquez, maybe he's boosting his trade value here. I don't know. Kike Hernandez is hurt. I mean, the Red Sox, there are some options if you did want to look into some trades. But obviously this game tonight is rather abysmal. And, yeah, so we're going to have to figure out what's going on with this Red Sox team. I think, honestly, they should be doing a little bit of buying and selling. I don't think they should just sell everything. I think you should look into bringing in pieces that can help you for the next couple of years at least. If you are going to trade Xander Bogaerts, look into bringing in someone that can bring you someone that is cost controlled. A perfect example is someone like Nick Pivetta. When you brought him in, he was not going to be a free agent for a little while, whereas you traded Brandon Workman for him, who was going to be a free agent. So those are the kind of the players that I would like Chaim Bloom to bring in if you are going to be trading off some pieces. So but one more time, just looking at this, I mean, this Blue Jays lineup, I mean, look at what's going on here. I mean, Toppy had the birthday gift grand slam there, but 6 RBIs. I don't know if has he ever had 6 RBIs in a game? I can't even imagine. Vlad Jr., he's been having himself a nice night. Alejandro Kirk, man, he's been having himself a good night. Bo Bichette, quietly getting that batting average up tonight. Teoscar Hernandez. Man, Gurriel Jr. is 6 for 7. When do you ever see a player have 7 at-bats, unless it's like a long extra inning game? You never see you never see a 7 here. I mean, my goodness, what a night for him. Gurriel Jr., 5 RBIs. Chapman with 4. He had a home run, I believe. Yeah, he had a home run too. So, 28th run for the Toronto Blue Jays. Did they just score again? Yep, they just scored again. Can the Blue Jays get 30? Come on, just let them get 30. Just pour it on here. Anyway, let's get to the trade for today. We had the Mets and the Pirates coming together on a deal, sending Daniel Vogelbach to the Mets for Colin Holderman. So gotta like this for the Mets, honestly. If we're taking a look at their lineup, I mean, well, let's take a look at Daniel Vogelbach first. Obviously, with him, you're never really going to see a lot of great batting average from him. He's more of a guy that's going to hit for some power. He's going to drive in some runs. His best season came in 2019 with the Seattle Mariners. He had 30 home runs that year, 76 RBIs, 341 on base. And this year, he's actually setting a career high in WRC+. He has 12 home runs so far, 34 RBIs, a 338 on base. That's pretty respectable. Slugging kind of right around where it was in 2019. But hey, he's showing that he can be a pretty decent bat this year. So taking a look at where he basically fits in this lineup, I mean, obviously he's a designated hitter. He's quite the big boy out there. And hey, for the Mets, you know what? It's adding another bat. And I don't think this is not where the Mets stop. I think they still try and add another piece for this offense. They had been rumored for the last couple of days to be looking for a bat, especially a designated hitter, and Daniel Vogelbach ended up being the guy. I like it. I like it for the Mets. It's just you can't really go wrong with it. He doesn't cost you a whole lot. And speaking of costs, let's take a look at the trade on Baseball Trade Values. What do you know? Another trade approved by the simulator. A slight overpay from the Mets. They gave up Holderman, who was having himself a really good season. Look at the season that he was having out of the Mets bullpen. 15 games, right around 18 innings pitched, a 2.04 ERA, a 2.26 FIP, 9 strikeouts per 9, 3.5 walks per 9. I mean, sure, you would like that to be lower, but it's not the end of the world. Not a bad number by any means. You know, hard thrower out of the bullpen. He was averaging 96 miles an hour. Good numbers overall. And you know what? I actually really like this for the Pirates. The Pirates, they are quietly adding these pieces, you know, and Holderman, I think, could be a key guy in their bullpen moving forward. He's got a ton of control. That's another thing I like about it. He's still got 3 options left. So if he were to go back to the minor leagues, that is pretty nice as well. But he just came up this year, so he's not going to be a free agent for quite a while. So in the end, I like this for the Pirates. This is a team that I think is going to be competing in the next couple of years. Look out for the Pittsburgh Pirates. You got some nice pieces in the offense. You got some pretty decent pitching mixed in here. Now, they're never going to be big spenders when it comes to the free agent market, but I think when players out there on the free agent market see that you got some young players here and you got a good future. Now, I'm not saying they're going to go out there, you know, and sign a big-time free agent like Aaron Judge, but I am saying, you know, where if you take a look at what the Marlins did, you know, they signed, you know, not the biggest payroll out there, but they went out there and they got a guy like Avisail Garcia, Jorge Soler. I could see the Pirates making a move like that. You know, they will spend a little money. They won't break the bank completely, but I could see them adding some guys like that. And you got some great bats here. You got some good players in this minor league system. So, hey, to add a solid reliever like this for your bullpen who you're going to have for the next few years, I think this is a great move from Ben Cherington and the Pirates. You weren't going to be doing anything with Vogelbach. He's not going to be in your long-term plans. And for the Mets, hey, they're going for it this year. It gives them another option with some offense, a left-handed bat. You could still go out there and go look for some offense. He doesn't cost a whole lot. He's not really damaging your payroll. Not like that really makes any difference anyway with the Mets. But I like this move. I think it's a good move for both sides. It addresses, you know, it gives you something for the Pirates for the next few years, which it's good for their timeline, and Vogelbach is good for the Mets timeline right now. Overall, I like the move. I thought it was a nice move. Vogelbach having a pretty decent bounce-back season, and hey, for the Pirates, getting a pretty solid arm for that bullpen over the next couple of years. So, let's move on here. Let's move on. You know what, before we go talk a little Juan Soto, let's go talk about his teammate. You know, everyone's forgetting that there's another player on the Nationals that is also quite the trade candidate right now, and that is Josh Bell. Looks like the Astros are throwing their names in the hat for Josh Bell. Let's go take a look at the news. Astros among the teams with interest in Josh Bell. Nationals first baseman Josh Bell is among the likeliest trade candidates on the market, and the Astros are among the teams interested in adding the slugger to their lineup. The Mets are also said to have interest in Bell, who figures to appeal to just about any team in need of an offensive upgrade. Now, so this was posted today at 10:22, so this did happen before the Vogelbach move. Could the Mets still be interested in Bell, where with Bell, you're looking at first base and DH? So I wonder if maybe this puts them out of the running for Josh Bell. I don't know. I mean, Bell is a switch hitter. I don't know. I wonder if they're still going to be in the running here, because unless you have Vogelbach is just like a bat off the bench, if you got Bell, he is going to be in that lineup every single day. There's no way Vogelbach is taking away at-bats from Josh Bell. So I do wonder if the Mets are still going to be involved here. This was written before the Vogelbach move. So, but we're talking about the Astros here. The 29-year-old Bell has been a force in Washington's lineup for the past 2 seasons, coming over from the Pirates in a trade that sent Will Crowe, Eddie Yeen, yada, yada. I mean, there's not really a whole lot. It's just really that Andy Martino is just basically saying the Astros have probably kicked some tires here. Mets would like Josh Bell, while another league source says Astros are pursuing him. So, if we were to take a look at the Astros right now, let's take a look at the Houston Astros. So right now with the Astros, one of the better offensive teams in Major League Baseball right now, except the Blue Jays tonight. The Blue Jays tonight are the best offensive team out there. But with Josh Bell, really, it's interesting because you do have Yuli Gurriel at first, but he's not having really a bad season by any... I mean... Wait, hold on. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. He is having a pretty bad season. Who am I thinking of? Who am I thinking of right now? Yuli Gurriel. I don't know who I'm thinking of. Wow, Yuli Gurriel. I don't know whose numbers I was just thinking of, but these aren't in. These are not the numbers that I was thinking of. I take back what I just said. Yuli Gurriel is not having a great season. Maybe I'm thinking of last year. He did have a pretty good season last year. I mean, very good offensive season last year. Hit 319, 383 on base, 462 slugging, a 134 WRC plus. But he is slumping this year. So for the Houston Astros, and Yuli Gurriel too, it's funny. You don't even realize he is 38 years old. I didn't even realize he's already up there in age. He's going to be a free agent after this season as well. So I think with the Astros showing some interest here in Josh Bell, it, obviously makes some sense. They're looking for an upgrade here. They're looking for upgrades anywhere they can in that lineup. I think Josh Bell, and also he's a Texas guy. He comes from there. So I wonder, I mean, if you add Josh Bell here to this lineup, and then, guys like Alvarez stay healthy, I mean, my goodness, this is one, it's already a good lineup, even without, some of the guys that have left town in the last couple of years, like Carlos Correa, George Springer. And still a pretty good lineup. Kyle Tucker's having himself a good season. But, man, Josh Bell, I think, would be a really nice addition. He would be a good upgrade over Yuli Gurriel. But we'll have to wait and see, man, what ends up happening here. I could definitely see it. Josh Bell in an Astros uniform, a nice switch hitter for that lineup. Gives you an upgrade at first base. Yordan Alvarez, I mean, he can definitely... He's been hurt a little bit lately. You could give him, a day off here and there. And Josh Bell, the good thing about him is that he's a switch hitter and he hits well from both sides of the plate. So I like it. I think the Astros would be a nice spot for Josh Bell. That's kind of one thing that I've been wondering. Yuli Gurriel, I feel like his numbers, maybe I'm thinking of something not too long ago where I feel like his numbers not too long ago weren't all that bad. He has been heating up in this month. Before the All-Star break, this month, he is hitting 278. So, June, his batting average started coming up a little bit from 214 to 241. So, he has been getting better. But I don't know. Will that be enough? We'll have to wait and see. But let's take a look at our next story. Josh Bell, could he be a Houston Astro? Think could be a pretty good fit. Why not? But let's get to the juicy stuff, shall we? We got 256 people here in the chat. So let's go take a look at the latest with a certain individual out there. I don't know if you know him or not. His name is Juan Soto. I feel like I've been making videos and talking about him left and right. But I mean, come on. Who else are we gonna talk about here? Josh Bell? I mean, I like talking about Josh Bell, but we got Juan Soto on the market here. We never have this kind of a guy on the market. I was just talking with John of Baseball Trade Values on Wednesday night. Also, I want to thank everyone that came out to that show. Very solid show. That was the most viewers that we've had. We've been doing a Wednesday show for the past month, and that was our highest viewer total so far. So everyone that came out Wednesday night, this past Wednesday night, thank you. We will be going live again this coming Wednesday, as well as the next Wednesday. So definitely be here this Wednesday. That's going to be a really juicy show, because if we're looking at the dates, we have the trade deadline. It's going to be on the 2nd of August this year. It's not the 31st, but so our next episode is on the 27th. So, hey, that's about what, 5 days before the deadline. So it's going to be a pretty juicy show. We got a super chat coming in. Cardinals dude for $1.99. Do you think the Cards will get Soto? You know, I was just talking about how me and John, we were talking, and man, the Cardinals really seem like the best fit. That when you look at everything involved, when you look at the players that they can offer, when you look at, they've had a bit of a willingness in the past few years to spend some money. They've obviously made trades in the past. Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt. I will reiterate, because I've had some Cardinals fans come after me a little bit, because I mentioned, they don't really seem to make the Juan Soto type of trades. They did go after Giancarlo Stanton, but Goldschmidt and Arenado are not the level of Juan Soto. That's completely different. That's like the Yankees trading for A-Rod, back in 2004. So, William Fulgham, $9.99 super chat. If you could trade for just one, who would it be? Soto or Ohtani? Juan Soto, any day. Absolutely. Ohtani, yeah, he's going to be... Obviously, he's going to give you a guy on the mound and obviously a great hitter. But to me, Soto is a lot younger, and he's just going to be. And another thing with Ohtani is he has been doing a good job at staying healthy in the last couple of years, but you never know. A couple of years down the road, could he end up, having some arm problems again? It's a lot of wear and tear on your body doing both like that. It looks like they have found a system for him. But to me, I'm Soto any day, easily. He's the guy that I can count on to be in that lineup every day for God knows how long. That's like basically the Angels having Trout in their lineup for years and just getting solid year after year after year after year. So Ohtani is great, but when you compare the two, Ohtani is more of a question mark, if that makes any sense. So, William, thank you so much, as well as Cardinals Dude 4. Thank you for the super chats. Really do appreciate that. But Cardinals Dude, I really do think the Cardinals make a lot of sense for Juan Soto. They've showed that willingness to make those trades. They've shown the willingness to spend the money if it's on the right player. They were not afraid to take on Giancarlo Stanton's contract back then before everything just got shot down. So I think it makes a lot of sense, and I think they have the prospects to get it done, and they also have a good centerpiece in someone like a Dylan Carlson. So they could get it done if they want to. We're going to have to wait and see. But here is the latest. Steve Adams recently took a look at the situation, outlining how Soto is arguably the most attractive trade chip in recent memory, or perhaps ever. We have never had a player like Soto on the market during the season. A-Rod was not a guy that was on the market during the season. That was an off-season move when he got moved to the Yankees. You have never had a guy like this on the market at the trade deadline. At least that I can at least for like thinking about it, just, you know, I don't know. I can't ever think of a time where a player at this level was on the market. So, like John of Baseball Trade Values likes to say, Juan Soto's a unicorn. I see people in my comments, they'll criticize Soto, be like, oh, he's really not anything great. I had a guy the other day saying, this guy's hitting like 200. And I'm like, okay, have you seen what he's been doing for like the last few weeks? The guy's hitting like over 400 with a 500 on base over the last like 3 weeks. It's like, okay, he's always been a bit of a slow starter. That's the thing with Juan Soto. Did you see what he did in the second half last year? Like, are you kidding me? Juan Soto, man. And then you get him for the playoffs too. Oh, come on. He's always been a bit of a slow starter. But taking a look here, given his talent, youth, and remaining years of control, just about every team is going to be calling the Nats and getting a feel for what kind of a deal they're looking to make. I'll be honest with you. I feel these teams know. They know what it's going to take. They know these teams, they all have their algorithms, just like Baseball Trade Values. They have their algorithm. It's not going to be exactly the same, but these teams, they all have a system here. They know what it's going to take. There's really only going to be a handful of teams that are going to emerge as favorites for him if there were a deal to be completed. But Bob Nightingale of USA Today reports that the discussions have begun, and unsurprisingly, Soto is drawing widespread interest. He lists the Mariners, Padres, Giants, Dodgers, Cardinals, Yankees, and Mets as 7 teams that have already opened up the lines of communication with Washington. If I were to pick some teams here, I think the Giants will end up falling out of it. That could come back to bite me. We'll have to wait and see. I think the Yankees will fall out of it. I don't think the Yankees have enough of a package to get it done. Sure, they could sign this guy long term. I think if the Yankees have a choice between Soto and Aaron Judge, I mean, no disrespect to Aaron Judge, who's having a phenomenal season, but you're going Juan Soto every day. Juan Soto is 7 years younger. I mean, oh my God, that bat at Yankee Stadium, are you kidding me? Like, that's just insane. The Yankees, obviously, they're always going to make a phone call, but I don't think they have the package that's going to be better than, say, a team like the Dodgers or the Cardinals. The Cardinals really have a good package there. They do. You could give Carlson, you could give Jordan Walker, you could give Mason Wynn, and maybe like someone like a Michael McGreevy, and you could give up those prospects, and you won't even have to give up Patrick Corbin. That's the thing. The Nationals could just keep Patrick Corbin. You don't even have to have him in the deal, unless you could always put Corbin in and then pay a little bit of money. That would dampen the prospect load that the Nationals would get back. But that could help the Nationals relieve some payroll. So I guess it really depends. But the Cardinals, they are in a really good situation because, sure, they would have to give up Dylan Carlson most likely. Tyler O'Neill's not going to be a guy that closes that gap. Harrison Bader's not going to be a guy that closes that gap. Dylan Carlson, 23 years old, same age as Juan Soto. That guy has the most value out of those 3. So Carlson would be the guy that would headline that. Walker is an extremely good really good prospect. And here's the thing with Jordan Walker as well. If I were to pull up Jordan Walker here, here's the thing. Let's say Jordan Walker is ready next year, right? Where is he going to play? He's a third baseman. I guess you could move him at first, but, well, you have Paul Goldschmidt. Well, maybe you can move him out to left. Well, you got Tyler O'Neill. Where's Jordan Walker even going to play? I mean, I guess you could DH him. I guess, but if he's going to be playing in the field, I mean, he doesn't really have a spot if you're looking at it in the next couple of years. I mean, looking at the year that Jordan Walker's having in AA so far, he's having an extremely good year. He's hitting 303, 392 on base. He's got 8 homers, 35 RBIs. I mean, he's got 15 stolen bases as well. This would be a rather nice piece for the Nationals to get. And you can get Mason Wynn, a shortstop. The Nationals don't have that kind of a piece in their system. He's having a really good season this year. He's in AA. Just got moved up this year. He's hitting 259. He's got a 332 on base, 10 stolen bases. I mean, hey, Mason Wynn, but he's a fast player, man. Very athletic, a 65 run. He's got an 80 arm, really good arm. Rogan O'Reilly, thank you for subscribing, my friend. 60 in the field. Mason Wynn could be a part of that package. I'm not sure. Maybe someone like Joshua Baez, Michael McGreevy as well. To me, the Cardinals really make so much sense because they have a few pieces that just close that gap. And for the Cardinals, Walker is blocked. Of course, things can always work themselves out. You could always figure it out. But right now, Walker doesn't really have a spot. You have Arenado locked up for years. Goldschmidt is locked up for years. So, I don't know. Jordan Walker, to me, it looks like a great trade piece right now. The Dodgers are always dangerous. Now, their big piece would be Diego Cartaya. So, the whole catcher thing. You have Kyber Ruiz. So, what do the Nationals do there? I mean, I guess, hey, talent is talent, right? You could just take back Diego Cartaya, and then you got an extremely good catcher in your system. You could use Ruiz or Cartaya as trade bait with another team, or you could get a three-way deal involved, or a third team involved somehow, where maybe Cartaya goes to another team, and then that brings you back something else. So you could make it work if you're the Dodgers. It's always a little more complicated when you involve a third team. But Cartaya is there as a trade piece. So we'll have to wait and see. The Mets, I just did an article, or I did a video today on the MLB.com article on 7 Juan Soto trades. Out of that whole article, I feel like the Mets did make the most sense in terms of a team that can pay him and in terms of prospects that you can give back. Out of the trades that were offered there, I think the Mets made the most sense. You had a couple others on there. You had the Mariners and the Rays, I actually thought was a pretty fun one. But I don't know if I really see the Mets. Sure, in that article, the Mets made the most sense, I think, out of all those teams. I don't think they make a whole lot of sense, though, in reality. I just don't know, because they've really spent a lot of time beefing up that farm. And again, prospects are prospects. If it gets you someone like Juan Soto, I mean, you got to do it, right? Brendan Dillman, 285. My condolences, at least. Oh, no. Brandon, I see what you did there. I'm thinking immediately when you did that, I'm like, 285? What? Like, what kind of a super chat is that? 285? Okay, I get it now. Oh, that's brutal, man. That's brutal. Oh, come on, man. Brandon, thank you, my friend. Thank you. I am crying on the inside right now. But back to this. To me, I don't know if the Mets really make a whole lot of sense. It's in division. In the end, does it really matter all that much if the Mets are in win now mode? The Nationals, if you're giving up Juan Soto, well, they're obviously going to not be in any kind of mode right now. So their timelines are completely different. And in the end, if Juan Soto is on the Mets, 5 years from now, and then the Nationals have all these players that you got back from the Mets that are doing really well, well, then I guess maybe it works out for both sides, right? And then they're being competitive in that division. So I think people, they shy away from those division trades. But you have to remember here, they're in different timelines, right? The Nationals are not in any sort of competitive window right now. They're years apart right now. The Mets are here and the Nationals are here. So it's going to take a few years before they come back they come back together in terms of competitiveness. So I would not shy away from a Mets deal. I just wonder, would the Mets want to give up that much when they really have spent a lot of their time beefing up that farm? I'm not saying I'm not saying they won't do it, but I just wonder. And also, will the Nationals like their package that's being offered? I mean, compared to teams like the Dodgers or the Cardinals, and then you got these fun teams like the Mariners, and maybe the Padres could get a deal done too. I mean, sure, I like some of those pieces, and that's another one too. You got a catcher in Francisco Alvarez, so again, that's another bit of a hiccup there. Do the Nationals want to take on another catcher, kind of like I was talking with Diego Cartaya? Could you get a third team involved? Possibly. Or could you just take the catcher back, because talent is talent, right? So it's going to be interesting. And then obviously the big thing here, there is a potential complicating factor in the talks, as Jim Bowden of The Athletic reports the Nationals want to combine Soto with Corbin in trades. I'm going to be honest with you. If you're a team out there, right, like the Yankees, the Mets, Cardinals, Dodgers, Giants, Mariners, Padres, I mean, sure, Corbin is going to cost, money, but if you want to hang on to prospects, I mean, taking on Corbin is going to save you because he's going to lower Soto's value. He's going to lower the value of the whole package. So it's going to cost you less prospects. So to me, that could be kind of a win, right? So I guess it depends on if you're the Padres, I don't know, like there's been, stuff out there going back to this offseason where they don't want to go over the luxury tax line. If you're getting Juan Soto, you can make that exception, right? Do the Giants want to go over any luxury tax? The Yankees, they're always kind of weird with money, but I don't know, even though they have all the money, that there's always something about them not wanting to put on a ton of payroll. I don't know. So the Dodgers really do make some sense here because, if you were going to bring in Patrick Corbin, because the Dodgers have done a great job at, kind of getting pitchers back on track. So Corbin could be a good fit for the Dodgers. The Giants as well could be a good fit. The Padres, they were able to get Mackenzie Gore back on track. So maybe Corbin could be good for the Padres, especially if the Padres are going to send back a pitcher, maybe Gore, that you could give Corbin back. So I think Padres fans would much rather have Mackenzie Gore, obviously. But, hey, man, I guess it really just comes down to what do these teams really want. We have a super chat coming in. Moon Shadow 91.99 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend, for the support. Really do appreciate that. I got a few super chats here tonight. Want to thank you all for that. But Jesse Doherty of the Washington Post looks at the pros and cons of including Corbin in the deal, adding that Corbin has a partial no trade clause. I don't think that's really going to matter at the end of the day. Despite that, Doherty adds that this won't prevent a deal from coming together. Everyone's going to stop talking about this no trade clause. Strasburg's no trade clause, I think, would be more significant. And Corbin is not going to say no to a deal. If Corbin has a chance to go to a winner, I mean, I understand, maybe, Corbin signed a long-term deal, but you're not doing anything in Washington, and you want to go try and win? I mean, then you go to one of these teams, right? And maybe, a different voice could be good for you. I don't think Corbin's no-trade clause really has any significance at all. Maybe Strasburg, who got drafted by the Nationals, he wants to stay there long-term. Strasburg would be interesting. In the end, I still feel like it wouldn't matter. No trade clauses are there just to protect the players. Just because they have a no trade clause, you don't see players veto deals very much. It just doesn't really happen all that much. They have them there for protection. That's a good thing. But I don't think it's really going to matter all that much. So yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's going to be interesting. I feel like I've talked about Juan Soto until I'm blue in the face. I feel like out of any of these channels out there, I'm not trying to toot my horn, but I feel like I have broken this down as much as anyone else could do. Me and John have just gone over all the different types of values that it would take. I've reviewed trades. I don't know. Is there another channel out there that has broken down Juan Soto possibilities as much as this channel has? I don't know. But either way, it is getting a little tiring, at the end of the day. But it's interesting that you're starting to see reports come out that teams are calling. Teams are making contact. So we're going to have to wait and see what ends up happening. But I really do think there's a chance Soto can get traded. I'm gonna go 60-40 right now, because when you got this kind of fire right now, or when you got this kind of smoke, there's fire. And obviously Soto seemed a little ticked off at the whole thing about the leak getting out there of him rejecting 15-440. I don't think he's very happy about that, and I don't think he's even going to entertain at all. I don't think Boris wants to entertain, but that's another thing too. What's going on with Nationals ownership? You don't even know who the owners are going to be in the next few years. So Juan Soto's like, I don't know who I'm going to be working for. I don't know what this is. And Scott Boras said it himself. It's a bit of a ghost contract. So, if you're signing a contract, you have no idea who's coming in. Imagine, for those of you at home that are working wherever, if you got hired at a job somewhere, you and the boss were, you hit it off, you were clicking, and then next thing you know, 3 months down the road, boss tells you, hey, I'm getting transferred to another place. You're getting a new boss coming in, right? And then that new boss comes in and you just can't stand him, right? So that could happen. Like, it's at the end of the day, these are just normal human beings that are going to work every day. So I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see here, but everyone, that's all the news I got for tonight. Not a whole lot. I told you from the beginning this is going to be a pretty quick show. I didn't expect to be going really longer than an hour tonight. I am going to be working on a couple of videos over the weekend. I got one video where it's going to be 10 trades that I would like to see happen by the deadline. So keep an eye out for that. I probably will make one more Juan Soto video. I'm going to do like a ranking of the best fits for Juan Soto all the way from 10 to number 1. I've been thinking about it for the last couple of days. Which teams would truly be the best fits? Me and John did talk about it the other night, but we didn't really give like a ranking sort of a system. So in a video that I'm going to do, I'm going to go from like 10 to 1 or maybe 5 to 1. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about it still, but also, everyone, I have an announcement. If you are still here with me, everyone, oh my goodness, why didn't I announce this sooner? Oh, hold on, everyone. Hold the phone. Put down the tea. Hold on. Everyone, stay with me. I have an announcement. This is pretty exciting. Hold on. Let me get to it here. I don't want to play the video. All right, so this is really cool, everyone. Look at this. Hold on. Let me, this is loading right now. You got to look at this with me. Look at what I have gotten chosen to do. This is really cool. Like, I didn't even think this was even going to happen, like, ever. For those of you that, I don't know if any of you, we got 260 people in the chat. I don't know if any of you have been watching the MLB YouTube Game of the Week, but every week when they do a game, they feature a content creator, like before the game for a pregame, and then they'll, kind of talk about them a little bit during the game. But I have been chosen for this coming week's game. I am the featured content creator for this game coming up this Wednesday. That is, how neat is that? Like, holy, this is like blowing my mind. But yeah, the Twins and the Brewers are playing on Wednesday. And, hey, Major League Baseball, they reached out to me and they said, hey, we want to have you as the featured content creator for the YouTube Game of the Week. So, yeah, I'm pretty nervous about it, to be completely honest. There's a lot of people that watch these, man. That's a pretty big deal. It's kind of blowing my mind a little bit. But, yeah, I just kind of want to let you all know, hey, tune into the game on Wednesday. If you want to see my potato face talking with the people, at Major League Baseball and whatever else, I'm not sure exactly how it's going to, I mean, I've seen how the other people do it. They just do like a bit of like a 5-minute like interview kind of a thing. And then they kind of mention a couple of things during the game. But I will be here hanging out during the game for the whole game. So I'll be in the chat. But yeah, everyone, definitely tune in for this. I'll be the featured baseball YouTuber for this game. Everyone, thank you for coming out tonight. If there is any more news over the weekend, I will be here. My butt will be in this seat if anything happens. So make sure you got the bell notification turned on. That's the big thing. Turn on that bell notification. That way you know anytime I go live. Everyone, on the way out, please, I know I'm kind of annoying with it, but hit the like button on the way out. It just helps with the algorithm. Subscribe if you are new to the channel, and share the stream or any of the other content out there. Everyone, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. So have yourself a good night, and I'll talk to you next time.